It's wonderful to see all of you. And if you could allow me to share a few slides, I'd like to talk.
Of course, I'll do that now.
Let me try that.
Let me see where that looks. Jane, can you do that, please?
Yep, I'm on. I'm good. So in any case, it's really wonderful to see all of you and to be here together also with Vinton Cerf, this remarkable human that has basically made it possible for us to have this conversation. I want to give you a bit of a background to the Climate Action Forum itself, and it's related to our understanding that we are at the dawn of a new era. We're at the beginning of something really impactful, something very large, and we call it the regenerative era. So just a quick background. Throughout history, societies have been transformed by technological advances, right? We humans are crazy creatures. We invent things, we figure things out, and then we implement them at levels where they create massive transformations. So we had the agricultural era, we had the industrial era, we're in the digital era now. And with each of these transformations, everything changes, right? How we live changes, how we learn changes, how we work changes. Every single aspect of our way of being gets impacted by these things. But something is happening now where we are being impacted by something beyond our control, right? So these capacities for us to actually create things and drive them into sort of reality and create a whole civilizational experience around it is being confronted by the reality that nature is basically coming our way and saying, wait a minute, from here on out, you are going to transform in response to my forces, right? To natural forces. And so with that, we are being forced into, again, what we call an era change, a regenerative era. And with that, a new economy, a whole new economic orientation that aligns itself with this entirely different era. And what we're starting to see from leaders, from both in business and in academia and in politics, is that there's an awareness, there's a shift of understanding of what's coming our way that is significant. So people like Doug McMillon, who's the president and CEO of Walmart, say, as a society, we're at an inflection point. If we do not act now, we may not have an opportunity to do something later. This is the level of urgency we are now seeing from leaders of corporations, from leaders in all kinds of enterprises. There is a beginning of an awakening that this is real, and this is a very short period of time. Or if we do not act now, we may not have an opportunity to do something later. And so that's really the background to the Climate Action Forum, right? The Climate Action Forum is here to figure out, as Lisa, told me just yesterday, how do we get everyone to realize that this is a time for unprecedented action, right? How do we get everyone, starting with ourselves, starting with people who are, active here, and then to move into a time of unprecedented action. So we're doing that by creating a generational legacy in this group for our great-grandchildren to leave the planet in a better place than it is now, right? I grew up in Switzerland. The planet was distinctly different when I grew up from where we have taken it now. It's time for us to move into kind of a regenerative, restorative period and become very active in it. So we're building a community of members. People are passionate about climate action and want to make a difference, to get to know each other. We like each other, we trust each other, and to find a way to inspire people around us to get engaged and take positive action, climate action together with us. And as Ivan says, with hops, small kind of steps, with skips, medium steps, and jumps, great projects, probably with great alliances, great partners, cool cities, the Climate Action Network, the Climate Reality Project, things of that nature. So if you want to join us, please, go to the chat and put in Climate Action Forum, and we'll make sure that you're part of this from here on out. As we look at what is kind of our orientation and the kind of practices that we're looking to, we're seeing really three different realms of effort. One is we have to come together to see the possibility, to face reality for what it is, right? There's something where we have to reorient the narrative to this regenerative reality. No matter how hard it is, no matter how confusing it is, no matter how disruptive it is, matter how disheartening parts of it are, we need to step in as leaders and say, the way that firemen or first responders or surgeons step into a crisis, into a situation. That's what we need to do, and to lift the human spirit into the possibility of actually stepping into something. And that's where I'm really, really interested to hear what Vint is going to have to talk to us about. Out of that then comes the possibility of innovating into that, right? To take action, to take leadership in innovating into this emerging new world. And then the third thing, of course, is that it's hard, it's emotional, it's painful, it's anxiety provoking, it's depressing. And so a really important element is that we understand how to manage those emotions, how to lead into that emotional reality as well. So every month, BBG hosts these forums with a speaker like Vinton Cerf today, or a panel of speakers. And then there are these think tanks that, that's the stuff that you're going to be part of. Our members are business owners and leaders who have a common goal to connect, to collaborate, to contribute on a continuous basis to build a community that is committed to developing critical climate solutions at a speed and scale through collaboration, learning, and growth. So again, I remind you, if you want to join us, just please type Climate Action Forum in the chat and we'll see each other again. So with that, it's finally time for me to introduce Vint. And what a remarkable friend, a remarkable human, a remarkable visionary Vinton Cerf is. He's a computer scientist. He's considered one of the founding fathers of the internet, as I'm sure you've all heard. He looked kind of like the person looking over his shoulder when he became that person. Like that, Vint?
Who is that guy, right?
Who is that guy? That's the father of the internet, right? Wow. So he was part of the UCL networks group that connected the first two nodes of ARPANET, and which was the predecessor of the modern internet. And importantly, is the co-creator of TCP/IP protocol. Those are the rules that allow us to see each other right now, right? That allow me on my Mac to be connected to whoever else is somewhere else in the world, being able to communicate with us. He's been a leading force in every aspect of network communications, from the US Department of Defense to holding top executive position at Google. And of course, Vint being Vint is leading NASA's initiative to create the first interplanetary internet. He's literally reaching for the stars. So he is out there surfing the interplanetary internet now. And I looked, I kind of got to know him a little bit more, in his youth and stuff. And one of the early things he said when he was a young man was, there's something amazingly enticing about programming. You create your own universe, and then you become the master of it. And I think that's what's so remarkable about this man, and about, the fact that he created a universe for us. And it's up to us, of course, to see that we can master it.